What's up everybody, OGP back with you for another video. Today I'm going to do something a little different, kind of the same but a little different. I'm going to start reviewing movies that I've picked up at the Dollar Tree. Now this was an idea mentioned to me by the Fluffy Gamer, and I'm sure he would want that credit, so I'm going to throw that out there, that he said, you know what, why don't you review these movies, because everybody's all about buying the Dollar Tree movies, and most of them we don't know anything about. For example, like this one, A Night of Horror, Nightmare Radio. It's an anthology. I bought it at the Dollar Tree. I don't know much about it. It's still brand new, sealed, and so I thought, that's a pretty good idea. We'll open it up, we'll check it out together, I'll watch it, and I'll give you my thoughts. And we're going to do this. This is just a Dollar Tree pickup movie review series. So we're just going to review movies picked up at Dollar Trees, and they won't be too long videos, but maybe to give you an idea, if you're at a Dollar Tree, something you might need to pick up. This one was actually picked up fairly recently. I got it out when I was out there in Vegas with Fluffy and Wet Movie 1 recently, and the main reason that I picked this up was, I like horror movies, but the artwork on the back, that's pretty cool artwork right there. And I don't know if we can focus on that or not. But looks kind of crazy and wild, like reminded me something like The Devil's Rejects or something wild like Rob Zombie would do. So anyways, should we dive into this flick right here? I think we should. Let's check it out. Now, I don't anticipate there being like a lot of inserts or anything with these $1.25 movies, but any of them that are not opened, we'll go ahead and open them together and check it out and see, just in case, or if there's anything weird about them, take a look at it together. So here we go. If I can get this plastic off of here, and there we go. Plastic is off. Minty fresh, smelling minty fresh. So anyways, before we get in, now that I took the plastic off and I can see, go ahead and read what it's about. Rod leads a very popular radio show dedicated to horror. One day, the show begins to receive strange calls from a child who desperately asks for help. At first, they all think it's a sick joke until they discover that this is not the case. These calls hide a dark and deadly secret. So, sounds like an anthology where our wraparound, the host kind of who takes you in between the different little short films in the anthology is a radio DJ. So, the anthology of the year says Oriol Hernandez from somewhere that's way too small for me to read. Let's see, starring James Wright, Clara Kyo, I don't know. Looking for any recognizable names at all. They're not really there. Uncork'd is the movie company here. You see down the bottom there is Uncork'd. It is not rated. It is 105 minutes, which is a pretty good length for an anthology. That tells you you're going to have several stories in there. And came out 2019, so like 3 years old. And here it is again. Give my little thumbnail here. Ooh, Dollar Tree movie reviews, baby. Oh, right next to the shining pillows. Oh, so opening it up, yep, as expected, is just the DVD inside, and it is not a cheapo burned blueback copy or anything, so that's good. Which I don't think I've gotten any of those from the Dollar Tree. But sometimes you order movies from people and it looks like they burn them at their house. This is not the case. So, that being said, it's time to pop this bad boy in and check it out. And there it is, A Night of Horror. It looks pretty well shot. I wish I had this on Blu-ray, but hey, it still looks pretty good for being a DVD. Well, I will see you in a little bit. I've got a movie to watch.
2 hours later.
A Night of Horror. Nightmare Radio. This was a movie about a radio DJ, that guy right there in the middle, who has a show where they tell stories. Kind of what I expected. He was the wraparound guy for the short stories in the film. His acting, I've never seen him in anything else, so I don't want to call him a bad actor. But his performance wasn't great. The writing for him wasn't great either. But he read the script said, I will not walk into that store. When we all know we'd say I'm not going to walk in that store, or I won't walk in that store, or something. It just seemed very robotic. And it wasn't the way people really talk, if you catch what I'm saying there. So that was, and I get it. When you're on the radio, you don't necessarily speak like you normally would. But there was times where he was talking where he wasn't behind the microphone. And that just wasn't, it wasn't great. Wasn't the end of the world. Wasn't the worst ever. But it definitely took a little away from the movie. I thought, so it says 8 terrifying tales to haunt your dreams. There's 4 or 5 that are pretty memorable to me throughout the film. And I thought as the film went on, the stories got better. It seemed like each one of them kind of had a little flaw or two here and there. There was one where, and they kind of, you can tell when they said, okay, you make a film for this, you make a film, you make a film. They kind of gave them a theme, and so there was some stuff tied in that, kind of like a reoccurring theme and or monster kind of people thing that happened in a couple different of the anthologies, which is always kind of cool. If you're going to do an anthology, have a theme. Don't just have it, 5 random stories. Or 8 random stories in this case. There was one where it was a blatant rip-off of It. They started with a red balloon in the hallway and the kid being tantalized to follow and get the candy, and it's like a clown thing. I didn't really... To me, it was just unoriginal. I don't know if they were trying to pay homage to It or not, but it just wasn't that great. Well, if the background changed a little bit right there, I just had to change my battery. I haven't been using this camera that much lately, and I've got a bunch of these batteries, and I'm just not getting the life out of them anymore. So, sorry about that. Back to talking about the film. So there was the It knockoff. I just wasn't a big fan of that storyline. Thought we could have done better. What happened if we went with not a clown and not a red balloon? Could have been good, would have been just fine, But that one was kind of oh, okay, why? There's another one where somebody gets stabbed, right here, and instantly, oh, I'm dead. But kind of still awake and breathing, and a little convulsing here, little convulsing there. You get stabbed right here. Dude, at least grab the knife, defend yourself, something, whatever. It's just stabbed right here. Oh no, I'm dead. Yeah. There was another one where a girl gets cut, and I won't talk about really where, but she gets cut and something bad is about to happen to her. You'll know it if you watch this because her hair's all up in the air. But she gets cut, and she screams while she's getting cut, but then the second he's done cutting her, she stops screaming. And then it's I don't know if you've ever had a bad cut or not. It hurts probably worse after the fact than it does while you're getting cut, because it just starts throbbing and hurting, and you would be in some excruciating pain. And plus, the effects on that were not that great. There was the cut, and then you see blood coming down, but then we go back to the shot, and there's just like not as much blood as should have been left. So a little issue with that. But all in all, I will say this was a fairly entertaining movie. I'm not mad at especially having this for $1.25. I'm not mad at that at all. I guess, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably going to give this about a 6. A little bit better than average because it was shot very well. And like I said earlier, I would love to see this on like a Blu-ray or higher definition. One of these, you know, the short films that took place like in, I don't know, Spain or something. They were speaking Spanish. There was one that took place like in England or something. And so it was, to me, that was kind of cool. There was the locations were amazing. At the end of the film, the credits just went on forever and ever and ever because they put a lot of work, a lot of people were involved, a lot of money was involved with this. The details, it doesn't have the budget. It does say it has a worldwide gross of $21,725. That means to me it probably had a very limited box office release somewhere. This says country of origin, Argentina, New Zealand, United Kingdom. There was some very American spoken English in a lot of this. There are some filming locations in the United States. All I can guess is that the country of origin, when they filled out the IMDb, it was with regards to where the different shorts were made. Maybe they reached out to people around the world to make shorts to contribute to the film. I don't want to ramble on and on forever. I just was hoping to be able to give you some more details about it. But I got this again. This series here. These are only movies that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. So this was about 3 weeks ago. I picked this up. I was in Dollar Tree 3 days ago, and they still had copies of this. So you can still find it there if you're looking. Might take $1 or $2 trees to find it, but this was definitely worth the watch. I'm not mad about it. Not mad about it. But anyways, that's about it. Thanks for watching. If you would, hit the thumbs up. Be sure you're subscribed. If you don't mind, it'd be really cool if you enjoy these videos or if you enjoy the channel, to share it with the homies so we can spread the word and keep growing the content and channel here. I would appreciate that. If you don't want to, I'm not mad at you, but I would appreciate it if you did. But thank you very much for watching. See you guys on the next Dollar Tree pickup movie review or something. I'll probably try and find a better name than that. But we'll see you on the next one.